Hello everyone and happy Friday. I do enjoy romance here and there. Probably my third most read genre. The first book I chose because it was the second place winner of the Goodreads award for best romance, which Goodreads is pretty much this popularity contest, really. But, you know, it's still rated up pretty high and a lot of people still enjoy it. And it gets a lot of attention for some reason. So the reason I didn't go with the first place winner is because I've already read it. I'm pretty sure it was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I was a little skeptical because I don't dislike People We Meet on Vacation. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. But, I mean, that's a pretty average rating. So my expectations for the second place book wasn't very high, I guess. The second place winner, though, is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. And then the second book is I chose kind of based off of what do most people consider to be the best romance book, or like the most iconic or just most well-known romance book. And for that, I went with The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. For this book, I have pretty low expectations because I find that a lot of the books that people hype up, my enjoyment of it doesn't match the hype. And then the third and final book that I'll be reading in this video, I chose based off of what romance book I have been most wanting to read, and that is 10 Blind Dates by, I never remember the authors, by Ashley Elston. Those are the 3 books that I will be reading in this vlog. I've already read them. Let's just see how this went.
Are you sure you won't come with us?
Fantastic angle. We're just getting better with the angles as my channel goes by. Oh my goodness, look at my hair. I'm around 35, I want to say 35, maybe 32% of the way through with listening to the audiobook of 10 Blind Dates, and oh my goodness, this is such a fun book. I am loving it so much that I actually had to stop myself from listening to it. 10 Blind Dates basically follows our character Sophie, who after just kind of being, in a way, dumped on her winter break, she goes to spend time with her grandparents. And they have a very large family. Everyone knows of Sophie kind of being stood up, dumped, whatever. All of her family members come together and each one of them picks a guy and a date and sets Sophie up on a blind date for each day, the remaining days of the year. So basically up until New Year's. It's so fun. I think we're on date 3 or 4 now, but it's so fun. It's a very humorous book, and it has obviously a major family element to it. I mean, the family is like the main topic of the story, which I really love. I can definitely see where the main romance is going and who our main dude is, which I'm fine with. I think it's cute.
Just as I push through the gift shop doors, my eyes are assaulted by posters and books and toys and, oh my good God, things I wish I didn't know existed.
To say that I am enjoying this book and that it's making me laugh is an understatement. It's so great. But it is fantastic, 100% recommend. So it has been a few days, I think around 3 days, since I finished 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston, and I love that book. I love the book so stinking much. I love the characters so stinking much. Cute, funny, great plot, great characters. I can't think of anything that I dislike with this book. This book is 100% a 5 out of 5 stars. Now I have started The Love Hypothesis. Only 20 pages in and we're already getting sexual assault. So, the one who was assaulting said person was our main character. I'm pretty sure she was assaulting her future love interest. It reminded me of another book or a TV show or a movie or something that I watched long ago. I don't remember what it was called, but it pretty much, the romance happened after one of them sexually assaulted the other. And I don't understand if that's actually a trend. But yeah, that's all I have to update you guys on. I keep talking to you because my computer is going so slow. And I'm trying not to get distracted by AT's concert videos because they just had their concert, their first concert in the US today, in Chicago. And I want to just look at little clips. But I'm trying to resist, which is really hard to do with AT One of these days, I hope to go to one of their concerts. But until then, though, I must support them from my bedroom. Batteries died. I just finished. I just finished filming a video, so my voice, I feel like I'm using it. So, if I sound weird, that's why. All I have to say about the love hypothesis so far, I would turn on the lights, but the lights aren't working for some reason. This story is about our main character who is a student getting with her professor. Not with her professor. A professor from the school. And I don't know how I feel about that. That's a little, He's not extremely older than her. She's around 25. He's in his early 30s. But, when I was younger, I never had a crush on any of my teachers. And so, it's just weird. It's just weird. It's a little weird. I don't care if he's not actually a professor or not. That's just gross. He's a teacher. No. I also did not realize that this book would be about fake dating, so that's not my favorite trope, if I'm not gonna lie. I was reading a few chapters last night before I went to bed, and basically our main character, I forget her name, what's her name? Olive. Her name is Olive. She was basically laying the ground rules with Adam, I think. So she's basically going through the rules of their fake dating and stuff to the professor. And for some reason, okay, it's pretty obvious for anyone who does fake dating. I've never fake dated anyone. I've never dated anyone. Isn't it pretty obvious that there would be no sexual contact in fake dating? Like, you're just there to fake dating in front of the people that you want to be seen with your fake significant other. Does that make sense? Wouldn't it be obvious? Maybe there'd be a little bit hand holding and stuff. Maybe just like a pat on the, I don't know what you do. Pat on the shoulder, like, hey boo. Like, nothing extremely sexual. Maybe a peck on the cheek or something like that, just to make sure that they know, hey, we're dating and stuff like that. Our main character, Olive, basically, she went through this whole big thing of no sex. Wouldn't that be pretty obvious? I mean, no one's gonna be there to witness. I would think that's pretty obvious. She just knowingly used his tissue. She used a used tissue. Ew. I don't care if you shared saliva during kissing. That is disgusting. I finally finished the love hypothesis. I can 100% understand why this book is liked so much. I ended up giving it, entertainment-wise, 4 out of 5 stars. If I'm being more critical and I'm looking at all of the things that annoyed me, this book is definitely a 3 out of 5 stars, not a 3.5, just 3, which is good. It's an average rating. Got through this book really fast, and I did think it was really entertaining. The plot is nothing extraordinary. I think the thing that kind of sets it apart from other romances is that it follows the PhD student. Nothing was unexpected. It was easy to figure out what all was going to happen in this book, so I think that just made it easy to get through. The things that I did not enjoy with this book is I don't dislike the characters, I don't hate them or anything, but they're just kind of bland. It's kind of just like where someone, lists down personality traits and then they kind of just stick with that and they don't delve deeper into the character, if that makes sense. So like our male main character, Adam, he's seen as really, well, we're told that he's a horrible person, but he's not to Olive. He's broody, because you have to have that broody male main character all the time. He does not like sugary things. He's very athletic. He's ginormous. We constantly get that all the time. Constantly told that he's tall, he's buff, big hands, big everything. And those are his 5 traits. That's what makes his character. That's what I mean. My main gripe is definitely with the characters, very surface level, but in the end, I did enjoy this book enough for entertainment-wise to give it 4 out of 5 stars. If I'm being more critical, 3 out of 5 stars. I'll take you later. Hola, señoras, señoritas. My new favorite book quote is, I like it when you talk medically to me. I have mixed feelings about the book. I know this is a very loved book. The fans are very passionate about it, and I totally understand that. That's great. I don't dislike the book or anything. But the way the two characters talk is just so... It's someone who's been alive for centuries talking. That's what it kind of feels like. It kind of doesn't make sense, but in a way it's supposed to sound cool. But this book kind of pushes the hopefully let's sound cool and poetic feeling. I feel like just a little bit. It could just be me. I also did not know that the iconic, whatever you want to call it, cigarette scene was so early on in the book. What's the point? And I know it's a metaphor. He kept saying that over and over again. But what is the point about buying a bunch of pack of cigarettes that you're never going to use and you just put it in between your lips and just saying it's a metaphor? It's just a waste of your money, my dude. And also, why do the characters always call each other by their first and last names? It's kind of annoying. But honestly, the book itself isn't bad by any means. But I really hope the wise talk kind of simmers down eventually. Because there's actually been moments where I had to pause and go look up the definition for a word because I have no idea what the heck some of these words are that they're saying. It's kind of like in Twilight where Stephanie Meyer kind of throws in a fancy word in there every now and then and you're just kind of like, what in the world? I may possibly be filming this on the same day that I filmed my intro. So yeah, it is many weeks after finishing The Fault in Our Stars. I ended up giving The Fault in Our Stars by John Green 3 out of 5 stars. For me, it did not live up to the hype. My main issues that I had with it were things that I've already said. That continued on throughout the book. I felt like Augustus and Hazel were the same people. It was hard to distinguish both of them because they both pretty much talked the same. Big word stuff, just it felt... They're 17 and 18. I mean, some 17-year-olds and 18-year-olds may talk like that, but one, it would not, I don't think it would be that constant. And two, most 17, 18-year-olds, even if they do have a terminal illness, I don't think they would all think that way. And I feel like with Hazel and Augustus being our two main characters, it kind of comes off that way. It was hard enough to follow by physically reading it. I don't think I could have followed it when someone was saying it because I had to constantly look up words because I had no idea what in the world some characters would say at times because it didn't make sense to an average person. The things that annoyed me stood out more to me, which is why it is a 3 out of 5 stars. The book is sad, I will admit that. I didn't cry like everyone else, but which is really surprising because I do cry easily with books, but I pretty much knew what was going to happen. I will say also near the end, I think because I knew what was going to happen, I just kind of wanted to get it over with. That is how I felt about The Fault in Our Stars, and that's actually the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have read any of these books, whether you liked it or disliked it, please let me know your thoughts. I hope you have I can't do my outros anymore. My goodness, every time I try to do my outro, it doesn't compute. I will see you next Friday. Bye bye.